Yeah.
You're live on 5, Ellis.
Thank God it's a Friday.
Oh my goodness.
My goodness, okay? Actually, we kind of looking forward to Friday because every day we work really hard. Start on Monday, we do 5, 6, 7 sometimes shows every single day, right?
Some of us do our other jobs too.
Right, other jobs. That's just a part of what we do. Then they have other jobs.
Yeah.
You have to taking care of all the sales team, communications,
products, the marketing.
And I have to look after production.
We have to look over production here in the U.S.
Yes,
and
and
in
the
China.
operation.
We have to work with the China team. We got to get them answers.
Exactly. So overall, I would say, Leslie, we feel like calm. And we do get frustrated. Right?
Oh yeah, I was angry yesterday.
Okay, and but we stay calm, and we are super aggressive. Start from 8:15 every single morning. We just really go after every single detail. We start with the sales number.
Yeah.
We rated all the salespeople.
We're ranking them.
We're ranking them every single day. Okay, have they hit it? Who is at the bottom? Who is on the top? Okay, and obviously bottom is called Alice's list. Okay, if we add on the Alice's list, that means Alice have to, unfortunately have to single them out and talk about it.
Give you a little poke.
Right. And on Leslie's list, that's a good list, okay? Which people able to perform.
You usually don't want to be on my list.
No, okay. So she's like more towards to my list now, okay? Because the people on the top, we give them encouragement. People know what they're doing, right? And obviously, our job is, because not every day is the same. Okay, you will see people do so well in one day, then drop next day.
The next day.
So when they do so bad the next day, Leslie and I will jump in and say, you know what, we have to have serious talk because we have to push you back again to the top.
Well, it might not just be one day because we get,
Sure.
Okay, everyone's allowed a bad
So
day.
it's really-
but if you're bad for like 3 or 4 days, then that's not.
It's a really daily fight right now, okay? So sometimes people asking me a question, say, hey, Alice, what's your recipe? Okay, what's your recipe when you start with a TCP up to today?
For
Okay,
Kung Pao chicken?
right? Okay, yeah, not for Kung Pao chicken, but a recipe for the company for tea. How do you tell
What's
people?
The history?
How do you do that? So that's why before we go back to the history, we look at what we do right now. It's a daily fight. It doesn't matter how you look at it, okay? Because I would say if the company, big company, the only difference between us and a big company is big company took years after years, 20, 30, 50 years to build up the network.
Yep.
Okay, where the network is over there, then kind of the business become repetitive. However, those network they were building not necessarily is good because the time has been changed. The way people do business is changed. But one thing for us, for sure, is it's a daily fight. Okay?
And that's always been the culture and the spirit.
Right.
Like, that's one thing at TCP that's never changed.
Right.
Well,
it changed a little bit. Okay, so
we'll talk about that.
We'll
get into that.
Right? Does that make sense? What we're doing? Okay, so
because today we're talking about
the history of TCP. Because some of you would like to know what happened, this and that. I think Leslie and I talk about this. We feel like certain things happen for a certain period of time. Now we can talk about it. Okay.
We've had so many good things happen that people need to understand where TCPs come from and the work ethic and all of that. In addition to, some of the challenges that we've had as an organization and where we want to go.
Right.
So we thought that this was just a let's talk lighting fun Friday topic. So here we are.
Right. So let me challenge you. Okay. When does the TCP started?
Well, officially started in 1993.
Right. So let's stop around it. 1993.
But prior to 1993, back in 1987.
Yes.
You and Solomon started importing lighting products into the
Correct.
US.
Okay, we're kind of nibbling, okay, because we didn't know what we're doing. We're kind of nibbling a little bit here and then there. And then at that time, right, at that time, close to 1993, we were spending almost all our times on halogens. MR16s and halogens, that's a big portion of the business we were doing. At that time, believe it or not, we sell a MR16 about $4.
Halogen MR16 for $4.
Right. Okay. At that time, obviously today only maybe worth like 50 cents today. Okay. So that's how we started. At that time, that was the major light source. Okay. So when that is started, then we started moving. I'll just give you kind of time frame, okay, between 1993 all the way to 1990, I would say 8. Okay. During the 5 years period, we were kind of looking because besides halogen, we kind of got into a little bit about PLMs. Okay. If you guys remember, those 9-watt, 13-watt PLMs were being powered up by magnetic balance. If you remember those days, and we were doing a lot of circle lamps. Okay. The 22-watt circle lamps. We are kind of touch a little bit here and there in that territory.
In the fluorescent technology.
Right. Okay. And obviously, way back when we were talking about halogen bulbs, we did a lot of the work lights. Okay. But all halogen related.
Yeah.
The halogen start kind of coming down a little bit. That's when we got engaged with magnetic 9-watt and the 13-watt in that nature. Okay. We were doing the tubes, we were doing the magnetic drivers and the balance. That's kind of between this time and that time period. This 5 years, I'll always say, hey, we were struggling. I would say one day, 1 month, if we able to do, let's say $2 to $3 million, we say hallelujah. Okay, that was a big force at that time.
I also want to point out, but during that time frame, your official office was actually your garage at your house in Beechwood.
Correct.
Beechwood, Ohio.
Right. And then we moved to the garage to
a little office space in Solon, right?
No, actually, it's also in Beechwood. We moved from at that time, believe it or not, we have a nice warehouse, like a 30,000 square feet warehouse. Okay, not too small. Okay, but our front office was so small, and we hiring more people because the business was growing. Actually, I kicked myself out on the office. I moved myself to a desk in the warehouse. So my office, the desk end up in the warehouse because there's not enough room for people to sit at the front.
Well, you don't even really need a desk now.
No.
You're always running around.
No. Okay, so that's during that period of time. Then things changed. Okay.
Why did things change?
The things change is 2 things change at the same time. Number one, I was looking for opportunities. And for whatever reason, okay?
You look for an opportunity?
Yeah, I was looking for opportunity. The opportunity is this, right? We come from halogen. So what's next?
Energy efficient, yeah.
Right? What's next? And we see the compact fluorescent is the next. However, within the compact fluorescent, what type of a compact fluorescent will become the next one will be really cool. So that's why in the 1998, I was being told the spiral shape will become the next one. The spiral shape.
Not quite this guy.
Not quite that guy.
This is a fancy version.
Right. So spiral shape was, so I spent about a year, travel all over the world, try to find out with the spiral lamps, how it's being made, how it's being done. Okay.
Yeah, because that was incredibly expensive, incredibly difficult to manufacture.
Incredibly difficult at that time. So I would say in the 1997, 1998, finally I was super lucky. Okay, I hooked up with somebody, a dear friend of mine in China. He literally helped me to connect all the dots together and connect all the equipment, people, everything together. Finally, one day he said, "Come back to Shanghai. I'll show you how it's being done." That's how the whole thing started. Okay, so that's on the one side. Okay, the other side, believe it or not, during that period of time, 1998, 1999, during that period of time, and the kind of California blackout. Okay, so at that time, that kind of stuff started over there.
So people started to take notice that they needed more energy efficient products because we were consuming so much power off the grid. Because that's really when computers started to become a thing, right?
Correct.
When Al Gore invented the internet and all of that.
That kind of stuff. So actually, it's kind of stuff. People start moving up. So luckily enough, one side I was looking for what's next.
Okay.
The other side, I even didn't know that there is a blackout, there is a something, the movements, whatever you call, kind of start growing
nibbling
up,
away,
nibbling on the other side.
Okay.
I even didn't know that. I just looking for something different I can sell. So I would say around 1999. Okay. We have full production of this spiral lamps. That was at 1999.
So I want to point out that, when was that? That was a couple weeks ago that I showed you that picture.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
No.
So, because you yelled at me because I was reading a communist Chinese newspaper.
Right.
And I found an article, and it's an old article from 1999.
Oh, yes. Right.
And it had a picture of Ellis.
Right.
And Solomon.
Yeah.
And it was a really nice article about how these two brothers bought the factory.
Yeah.
And the relationship between them, because Ellis is the dreamer and the one that's like, we can just do it. We can, we're going to make it happen. We can get this done. And Solomon, who's the more reserved, calculated, quiet person.
Right.
And it was funny because I forget the exact quote, but it was a quote from Solomon that he was asked, why did you guys decide to build this? And it's the first factory that we built over in Shanghai, and it's this massive factory. And it was like, what was the determining factor for you guys to build this factory? And Solomon's response was, because Ellis said we should probably do this. and I find that funny.
Make it simple. I just told Solomon, say, do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's funny because today, and I know both Ellis and Solomon, Ellis better than Solomon because Solomon's English isn't that good and my Mandarin's not that good. But even today, it's funny to watch because it's the same.
It never changed.
Never changed because he's the dreamer.
So really, when you dream about certain things, now you need two things happen to you. Number one, you got to have something in your head. That something is very unique,
different, exciting,
and it better be good. Okay,
it's got to work.
It's got to work.
You're not selling snake oil.
Not perfect. What I call good enough. Okay, and you can always improve after that in your head on the one side. The other side is your luck.
You guys got lucky.
Right, very lucky. The other side is the luck. Because what happened is that moment we perfect at the 1999, when we perfect that line, able to massively producing from that point on, close to 2000, what happened in California was major blackout.
Even worse.
Major. At that time, the California utility company just stepped in. I find this opportunity basically is unbelievable of the opportunity to happen. Basically, they will say, we take as many as you can make. As many as you can make. Okay? Obviously, everything starts with, like Leslie said, say, do it. At that time, when I say do it, actually we look at, like Leslie and I, facing a piece of land.
Yep.
It took us 2 years from do it to build up the building, put a machine in it, grab as many people as possible, and train them. I tell you, oh God.
So I remember
how to bend those glasses.
When I first came to TCP, you watched a video, and I wish I could have, I couldn't find it. I searched the server and I couldn't find it, but they had a video of like the transformation of how the automation process of making a CFL had gone throughout the years. And it was a really neat video because it was literally a guy with a pole that was heated up and a piece of glass, and he would just like physically bend that to make that curly Q shape, and then cut it off and hand it to the next guy. And the next guy was over there like putting the driver and doing this, and then the next guy was pumping the mercury in, and then the next guy was I mean, it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So,
and that's what was happening at this time, right?
All right. So from this time to, I would say 2007 or 8.
Okay.
Those 7 or 8 years, it was non-stopping making. Just make. Nothing else. Just make. Okay. More people, more machines, never enough. Just
more buildings.
More buildings. Just never stop.
And then that's when you brought in more factories.
More factories.
That's how we got to 7 locations.
Right. It's just more factories, more land, more buildings. It's
more
just
people.
The peak time we had during that time. The peak time we had 20,000 workers
in China.
In China.
Because it was all very manual. Like there were pieces that were automated.
20,000 workers.
And the crazy part about this, Ellis, is during this time frame, you and Solomon were always looking at ways to improve the production process.
Right.
Because you only had so many buildings, people, everything.
Without automation, without machines, you even don't have. I mean, we have like a bending glass. We had like a 5,000 benders. We call. You have the housing the 5,000 benders. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Again, Solomon looked at each other. I said, Solomon, do it. Okay. He said, what do you mean? I said, find that machine. Got to have a machine.
So they invested so much time, effort, and money in getting those machines.
We cannot just keep doing like this. This is ridiculous. Okay. Number one. Number two, obviously, remember I always say this: when you have something good, you got to constantly improve the performance and the quality. Okay, that means the manually made products not that consistent. You got to figure out a way.
You got to
automate it. I tell you, at that time, it's very, very difficult. I tell you how to, by comparison today, making LED light bulbs is a piece of cake. Why? At that time, you have to control the diameter of the glass. Okay, because the diameter glass is changed the current.
So important.
So important. You have to control everything. You have to control everything. It's so difficult to do at that time. But we lived through it. Okay.
And there's intricacies in this product. It's not just that it's the diameter. And then there's also on this, they figured out that if you put this little pocket at the top, it would improve the performance of the
because
product.
during the burning position, the mercury needs to go to somewhere.
And
it's a cooling point, we call it.
That's the little pocket. Point. But that's all got to be consistently made in each and every product.
Correct. So you can imagine. I remember how did that look in that picture?
I refer to you as Fat Ellis.
Okay, I'll give you a guess. How much I was weighted at that time?
More than you weigh today.
At that time, I weighed 174.
Ooh.
174, right? 174. Okay, I was just do, and I was smoking, I was drinking a lot, but just every day, just as long as I'm awake, make. There's nothing else, just fry here in China, just like absolutely nuts, okay? And I just raise my voice every single day. How many do you guys do? More and more. It's just like a no end of this. It's just like no end of this. Our peak time was, at that time was huge. 1 million CFL a day. Every single day. Okay. So that was
we were building and then selling.
And selling at the same time. Okay.
Crazy.
So that was that period of time. Now, then something kind of changed a little bit. Not changing. We're still able to maintain the same level as what we do here. Then all of a sudden you end up in year 2009 and 9 to 10.
And when that happened, this crazy little thing called LED came onto the market.
Correct. And at that time, my overall philosophy is this. This is something new. You better team up the best guy in the market today, in the industry today. That's why at the beginning, right, we teamed up with Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I want to tell a fun story because this is when I started at TCP. Right. And my favorite thing is going to my very first light fair back then.
Yeah.
And Ellis going, and we had a CFL product manager, Dave Geraci, all of you know, and an LED product manager. And I remember us sitting down and talking about our light fair booth.
Yeah.
And we went, well, here's all the CFL stuff. And that was like 3/4 of the booth. And then we went to the LED side. And I remember Ellis saying, I don't care about that. It's not ready yet.
Right. I don't care. I didn't care about LED at all. There was a guy, a wonderful dear friend of mine and ours. His name is Shangdu.
Oh,
Shangdu was a wonderful salesperson
over
Nietzsche and constantly come after us. And I constantly say, no.
Not ready.
No. You know what? This is how our mindset will be, okay? When you suck into this CFL for so long, it's like a drug. You know what I mean? You kind of in it. and it's difficult to get out. Okay, when I think back at that time, it's just simply difficult to get out. You're trapped. And whatever the new things come in, you want to protect the little things you built, which is called CFL.
You had a fiefdom.
Right. You don't want anybody else to come in to take a piece away. So whatever people say that to you at that time. Now, this is how about we're talking about life. It's really strange. I want to protect that little thing as much as I can. As much as I can.
Okay. And we were still coming out with new CFL technology at that time too.
Exactly.
I mean, we had TrueDim, we had TrueStart, we had Instabright, we had
all kind of stuff. We just put so much time into that. So everything LED. But you have to give me credit. I slowly loosened up. We still identified the market at that time.
Yeah.
We said, because obviously,
the chip supplier.
Obviously, Leslie, Shangdu, right? Every day they drive me nuts. They constantly like nibbling again, put something into my head about LED.
We need to know we do.
Right. So 2 things happen. Thanks to all of them. Number 1, they identify the market. The first market we identified, the team identified was the partners. Because
during this time we played. I want to call playing because we had the ring light LED stuff, which were pretty good.
Right.
And then we had this other thing that was called like the festive light, which just looks like a decorative mad science lamp. But in 2011, 2012 is when we got serious.
Right. And we literally zero into number 1 is the partners. Number 2, the marketing is the retailer.
Yep.
Really zero into the retailer. So at that time, as you know.
And not for sale at retail, but like making sure that we were lighting up perfect retail spaces in a commercial application.
Correct. Okay.
Which was a different market for TCP
right,
too.
Because for us, if you want to flip something, you want to identify something which were perfect for this product. Number 1 is you have a tremendous you have a huge difference between 2 performance. Because when you look at halogen power lamps versus the LED power lamps, there's no comparison. Number 1 is a savings. Number 2, truly the LED COB power lamps performs far better than halogen. There's no question about that. Far better than halogen. When you light up 2 lights on the dress or something, there's no comparison. It just power lamps look so different and beautiful.
But Alice, there's another thing that I don't know if you were consciously doing or not. By going after the LED power lamp first, you weren't messing with your CFL business.
Sure.
Because power lamps for retailers was not an area that TCP had ever really played in.
Correct.
Because all we had were CFLs, and retailers weren't cool with that because the CRI was and the look was funny and all of that.
Right. That's how we started. Okay.
So we broke into the market in a big way.
In a big way. At that time, big way. I still always remember those days. Shangdu, if you're watching this, and you will remember those days. And with all the Japanese friends, everybody helped. We get a very good COB, and we designed from beginning for the lens. Remember, we
talked about this yesterday with the lens and the optic and
lens,
all
optic.
Of that.
We put everything together. We delivered the first Part 30A.
With the perfect beam pattern
to the market. That's why during that period of time, I tell you, it was awesome. How much we sold it for?
$40.
$40 for lamps at that time.
I missed
But with everybody's help, we got so excited. But one thing, Leslie is 100% correct, because my mind still trapped into the CFL. So they actually identify opportunities outside my protection, right? So I didn't care that much. I basically, in my head, I was saying, hey, Leslie, do it, okay? If you're successful, wonderful. If it's not, don't worry. I still have these little things with me right now. That's during that period of time.
Yeah, you left all of the LED team alone during that time. You just focused in on Dave the whole time. Dave DeRacy, you hit your CFL number.
So that being said, that's how we start with the first stage we call the partners, right?
And that was
then with the success of the partners, and then all of a sudden,
we had to start bringing other stuff in.
Right, all of a sudden I look at the other way and say, geez, they're doing pretty good over there. Not bad.
He started
getting nosy, kind of really start bringing in. And then you know me, the moment I start nosy, my mind start working. I look at big picture with a huge opportunity. I say to myself, you know what? The power lamps, yeah, you only have that many retail stores, this and that. Power lamps compared to the general lighting, the pie is not that big, okay? So how do we get into the big pie of that? So the big pie of that is very simple. You want to get into the regular general lighting, let's say light bulbs. So the problem at that time, and such an infant stage, all the LED chips we call
directional
high voltage chips.
And they were all very directional in their output.
Directional, all high voltage chips. So I come out this concept and say, guys, okay, I need middle power chips.
Yep.
Until you can get the middle power chips, you're able to producing affordable light bulbs.
Yep.
Otherwise, you cannot do that. Again, with the success with the power lamps with COB, obviously our dear Japanese friend from Nichia has some confidence in us, right? Then I push for 30-31 watt, 30-31 watt, just going in and out, in and out. How many times I went to Japan, just really pushing those guys. Not like today. They start with one little machine, two little machine. I mean, that big company, but they never did mid-power. It's called mid-power chips. You know, it was so awesome when the first wafer come out with remember, they give us the first one.
We have the first one.
We have the first one here. That's how the so-called general lighting started, from a 30-30 mid-power chip.
Well, I think they kept the first one for themselves. We got the first 10.
Yeah. You see what I mean? That's how we started, okay? That's actually, believe it or not, the whole revolution from LED to the general lighting is start from the Nichia first 30-30 mid-watt is which is 1 watt chip. So that's how we engage. You know me, the moment I feel like that, I just aim, I just push, okay? I guess lots of people have those doubts. All the Japanese have a doubt. Say, "Else, are you nuts? Are you sure the wind will fly?"
There were a lot of meetings where they said, "Are you sure? You're a little crazy."
And then my answer is very simple: do it.
Okay. Just like you would say to Solomon.
So that's how the whole thing started during that time. That's why our business, believe it or not, between let's say 2010 to 2014, okay. Actually, one side we still protect as much as possible of our CFL, but we are dramatically switched to the LED side.
And we were having fun with the LED stuff. I mean, all these shapes, because remember, with those mid-power chips, it was like, how do we mount it to get the light output that we want, and the lumen packages, and what do we do? And that's when you got all those crazy shapes that look like snow cones and things that look like a mushroom.
Right, because nobody knew how to do it. Okay,
there was one that looked like a starburst.
Right. Because remember, we have to deal with the heat, we have to deal with this, we have to deal with that. And obviously, we solved the problem for the chips, but we didn't solve the problem for the rest of it. Nope. We just don't know what happened to the rest. Okay, I'm still very proud of how we pioneered this 1 watt 30-30 mid-power chips. That's how the entire general lighting using LED started with.
Well, we were able to bring it back to a shape that was kind of somewhat normal. In fact, it's a shape we still use today with our SMD.
Still using today.
This guy.
But at that time, you have aluminum die casting.
Oh, it was heavy.
We didn't know how to get rid of it.
Had to get rid of that heat.
I tell you, those chips are pretty expensive. I mean, at that time, Nichia charged me almost 20 cents a chip.
I remember we did our A-lamp big promotion with the A19s because we had an overstock of our A19 with some fins on them.
She still remembers those days. Every time I go to Japan, all I'm asking for a penny or half penny deduction on a chip.
I remember the negotiations were always about, I got a quarter of a penny off. I got another quarter of a penny off.
Another quarter. That's how I tell you. This is history, you guys. Think today, oh, it's no big deal. LED. That's how we started. Those period of time. That's how we pioneered those things. Okay. So during that period of time, truly, okay, from 2010 to 14, the company continued to grow because our success in the power lamps and the mid-power chips under 3030 for the general lighting, the company just getting pretty cool at that time. Obviously, I have to say this, okay? So during that period of time when the things going truly pretty good, okay?
2013.
Right. And
things were awesome.
And my head is getting bigger.
Really big, huge.
Huge. Okay. Obviously, when I think back right now, it's really unnecessary because people ask me two things. Alice, why you want to really go with IPO?
So that's 2012 is when we really started digging into becoming a public company.
So
starting the due diligence, getting our things together.
First question, do you need the money?
At that time, no, not really.
Not really. Because our operation, our huge numbers, our profit, no. But always whatever, maybe it's a bad influence, right? Oh, everybody want to be do IPO. The company is being judged on it, okay?
Why was it? Why did you do it?
No. Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
A couple of things. Number one, I thought a person or company is going to be judged on the success by if you go with IPO or not.
Okay.
It seems to me every successful company supposed to go with IPO.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay.
Number two is, I caught, and then my head is getting bigger and bigger, saying, if that's the case, if I double, triple, I do need a more building equipment, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Through IPO, we can raise capital.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I forgot where we come from. For the past, since year 2000 to 2014, we literally self-fund, literally, okay? All we use is the bank.
Yeah.
That was it, okay? Every penny we make, we put it back. We put money back. We buy the building. We buy the equipment. We make more money. We put it back again, put it back again, put it back again.
Yep.
Okay? Well, the reason I want to mention that is sometimes people, if you're watching, really to think about things, okay? You not necessarily a so-called as a trendy things or fashionable things to do in the society or in the business community. Everybody have to think about, is that what you really needed? Is that really want to go that way? That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I think people have to really think about is what I call a personality. Okay? I have my personality. Okay? I'm a person with such a determination.
Mm-hmm.
When I determine something, I will go nuts on it. Okay? I have to say not every...
So I think, here's a good example, right? Because we mentioned fat, Ellis. At one point, you were determined to lose weight.
Right.
So what'd you do?
Okay.
You woke up one day and you said,
okay.
I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to smoke, and I'm going to start running.
Okay. So, surely, okay, this is a true story. So first of all, I have to quit smoking. Okay. So I smoked since I was a teenager. So I went to my doctor. They gave me those patches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It actually was pretty bad. I mean, make you throw up because the nicotine, they really put the same thing into your body, make you sick, so you don't have to smoke.
Yep.
So it's a true story. One day, for whatever reason, I bet you 100% we didn't hit our numbers.
Okay.
Okay. You were not there.
I was not there.
That way we were in the other building.
Yeah.
I went nuts for whatever reason that day. I really lifted my computer in my office and threw it up.
Oh my.
So people say, oops, he didn't put a patch on that morning. Somebody really rushed to the CVS.
And got some patches?
Got some patches.
Oh, good.
It was difficult. Quit smoking is difficult. Then I went through that, and then every week I cut a patch off a little bit, right? So the second week the patch get a little bit smaller and smaller. It took me like more than a month, and I literally quit smoking. I'm so glad I did it. Okay. So obviously, actually, that didn't help me to lose weight. No. It just helped me to not to smoke.
Yeah.
So the second thing I have to do is, because I did drink a lot, so I need to stop drinking. Drinking is overnight. I said, that's it. Tomorrow I'm not going to drink. No, I just stop it. Actually, that's good or bad, tell the truth. When I did that, it's become, alcohol does help a little bit in a healthy way if you drink,
in moderation,
couple glasses of wine,
right?
Because it does relax you, things like that. When you have such intense life, okay, with only sleep for a few hours every night, every day, your head just trapped into this thing, okay, and you want to get it and get it and get it. It is difficult. So in a way, kind of build up the internal
angst, pressure.
Okay. And unfortunately, when that happens, I have to release it one way or the other. It really not healthy when you release during the daytime to the people.
People like
her, are you right? I mean, it's it happened.
It's life.
It's life. That's I start running. Because I thought there's another way
to get the stress out.
Stress out. Actually, not stress out. Okay.
I like to run to let the stress out.
You know think. I have so much energy.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to burn them off. I just have to
get it out.
Get out. That's why I started running. I started running until right now. I used to run 6 miles every single day like a machine. Okay. Right now, I kind of slow down a little bit. I run between 4 and 5. Maybe only do 5 or 6 hours, take a day or 2 days off. I'm right now, actually, I come to the office early. I'm running in our gym in the morning. When I take a day off, I still get on the treadmill, fast walk for 1 hour. So what I'm saying here is, okay, it is at that time, okay, at that time,
there was a lot of pressure.
Lots of pressure. Truly lots of pressure. We all have to learn how to manage ourselves. Okay. Maybe at that time it's a good idea for me to, okay, let's say, Leslie, you do, I'm going to step aside for a little bit, or whatever it is. It has to be controllable.
Yep.
Okay. Sometimes during our lifetime, I think what people so-called screw up is to a point, it's just out of control. You cannot be out of control. Okay. Because that's what's happened here. Is that the event, the situation just grow by self, by nature of the growth of the business. I am the person. I'm not going to, actually, I don't have to control the growing of the pattern. I need to control myself to control the pattern. If I'm the person going my head getting a little bit bigger, then I'm kind of not really paying attention to the overall picture, how it's been working. However, okay, we start IPO 2012, but because of the stock market situation, crash, this and that, we stop until 2014.
We did it.
And we did it. Actually, we did it in 3 months. I tell you, it's just like how I sell the laptop. It's like, go, done. Okay, it's just like go. Okay, the day before the IPO, I went to the stock market, but the day Leslie, everybody went down to ring the bell. That day I was in the office with everybody else. Okay, I just feel I need to spend time with the people and the this and that. So I also consider at that time it can be another beginning for the company, with all the good thoughts and this and that. But however,
I'll say it was probably one of the best experience, like one of the times where you worked your hardest, and it was a big reward to be standing there that day on the New York Stock Exchange. Like it was very rewarding experience.
Right, because you were there.
I was there.
I was even not there. Okay, right. Okay, because I thought I need to spend everybody with the people here. They should be there with Solomon, my brother, to ring the bell and this and that. That's what I'm saying. It's a major accomplishment for the company, for everybody, like Leslie, everybody working for the company for so hard. It just makes them feel good.
Yep.
Okay. So for that reason, I never regret it. Okay. I never regret it. We took the company to such extent to that level. Okay, it is. We work our butt off. Okay, start from 1993 all the way to 2014, and everybody work hard. It just day in, day out, to build up the company at their size. Okay, we are not high-tech company. We are, it's we make it
pretty high-tech.
Yeah, the CFL is a fluorescent. No, it's not like what they compare today with.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But you know what? Hard work paid off.
Yep.
Okay. However, I really didn't realize when you reach that level. Actually, the day the company went IPO, the nature, or you can say the character, or how people behave,
the culture of the company changed.
Because now you're a public company, you're facing the public, and believe it or not everybody, okay, Leslie never changed, but certain people change.
Yep.
Okay, their mindset, okay, certain people really think about this company, oh, it's IPO company. What can I, how do I say? I don't want to say a wrong word. People forget how the company comes from. People forget how to move the company forward in a such positive, hardworking company versus other thoughts may popped.
So people thought that like we went IPO and that overnight our corporate culture should be the way that other public companies are. They forgot that we came from that small startup mentality, right, and that, the pure essence of TCP is to grind it out every day. Right. Just work your hardest, grab everything you can, deliver products.
Unfortunately, I never changed.
No.
My mindset is still here. Every morning I get up, say, go, yep, do, and just keep doing like that. I forgot people surrounding me. I forgot, I even didn't sense people other thoughts, this and that, right? People like Leslie and us, we just say, go. However, when I do go, something else happened in a company I really didn't sense it, I didn't pay attention to, okay? And obviously there's consequences of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why we got ourselves into trouble.
People accused you of things.
Right. So I think how we will share with you guys that story, okay, I think will be next
Gosh, we took a lot of time.
This is
I guess we're going to have
story.
to do the history of TCP
right.
part 2.
Right, maybe even part 2. Part 2
I didn't even think it was going to take this long.
Okay, I think a part 2 will be how...
We really need that. We need to spend some time on that.
Right, part 2 will be how we got ourselves into trouble.
Yeah.
What
happened?
How I personally felt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At that time I still felt I was being mistreated. I was being this and that. But today I have different thought of what with that because I didn't realize what happened. Okay. And the people we talk about this, people forgot the culture, the soul, how essence where the company comes from. People may have other agendas. Okay. Mm-hmm. When that happens, believe it or not, it destroys everything. So next time we'll talk about that. That's the second part. The third part we're talking about is after that, how we all coming back, rebuild the company as we do right now.
Cool.
Okay?
I like it.
So sorry about that, guys. I hope it's interesting for you guys. Listen to Leslie and I about history of the company, about me. I used to be 174 pounds. Okay, right now I weigh like 135, between 135, 138, based on the day and how much water I'm drinking. Okay, so you can see the difference. Okay, so thank you again, and you guys have a wonderful weekend.
Have a fantastic weekend. We hope to see you next week.
Then we'll tell you.
We'll let you know when part 2 is scheduled. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.